Welcome back to Coins Hunter USA, the place where pocket change turns into pure treasure. If you're passionate about rare US coins and the hidden gems that might be sitting in your drawer or spare change jar, you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into one of the most exciting coin series in American history, the state quarter dollar. This isn't just about cents, it's about stories, surprises, and serious value. So stay tuned, because what looks like an ordinary coin could be worth a small fortune. Let's jump in and uncover the secrets behind today's rare find. Top 1. Today we're shining a bright spotlight on a coin that might be hiding in plain sight, one that you might just find in your old stash, coin album, or maybe even in your pocket change. We're talking about none other than the 1999 United States of America Connecticut State Quarter, a coin that has become one of the most exciting state quarters in the collector's world. And before you skip ahead, hold on. Because by the end of this video, you're going to learn about a Connecticut quarter that could be worth a life-changing $70,000. That's right. A single $quarter coin, minted in 1999, that could be worth more than a luxury car or even a down payment on a home. But first, let's go back and understand the story behind this historic coin. In 1999, the U.S. Mint launched what would become the most collected coin program in American history, the 50 State Quarters program. This program was a turning point for modern numismatics. Each state was given a unique quarter design, released in the order the states joined the Union. Connecticut was the fifth state to be featured, making it one of the first and most historic coins of the entire series. The reverse side of the 1999 Connecticut quarter features the legendary Charter Oak, a majestic tree deeply rooted in American history and Connecticut's colonial heritage. The story behind the tree is both fascinating and inspiring. Back in 1687, during a power struggle between the colony of Connecticut and the British Crown, the royal charter granting the colony's autonomy was hidden inside the hollow of this great oak tree to prevent British forces from seizing it. That single act of defiance symbolized resistance, freedom, and the power of the people, and it has been immortalized in this coin's beautiful design. Look closely at the coin, and you'll see just how intricate the details are. The Charter Oak's sprawling branches, complex roots, and massive trunk are etched in stunning detail. The design is surrounded by the words, Connecticut, the Charter Oak, and 1788, the year Connecticut joined the Union. Beneath it all is the minting year, 1999, along with the standard inscriptions, United States of America, E pluribus unum, and quarter dollar. Now, here's where this coin becomes far more than just a pretty piece of pocket change. Despite over 1.3 billion Connecticut quarters being minted in 1999, only a very small number have the rare traits and pristine condition that serious collectors hunt for. And if you happen to have one of those rare varieties, its value skyrockets into the thousands, sometimes even tens of thousands of dollars. So what makes certain 1999 Connecticut quarters so incredibly valuable? Let's start with mint errors, which are highly sought after in the world of coin collecting. These are accidental mistakes made during the production process, but to collectors, they're like winning the lottery. Some Connecticut quarters were struck with double die errors, where the design elements, like the branches of the Charter Oak or the words on the coin, appear slightly doubled. This happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly during minting. These doubled features are easy to miss unless you inspect the coin under magnification, but collectors and grading services know how to spot them, and they're willing to pay a premium. Then there are the off-center strikes, where the design is printed noticeably off balance, or even partially missing. Depending on how extreme the misalignment is, these can be worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars. Other errors include broad strikes and clipped planchets. A broad strike results in a coin that looks stretched or larger than usual because it was struck without the collar that shapes the edge. Clipped planchets occur when a blank metal disc is improperly cut, resulting in a coin that looks like it's had a bite taken out of it. Both errors make the coin unique and rare, and let's not forget one of the rarest and most valuable error types, wrong planchet errors. These are coins that were mistakenly struck on a blank meant for a different denomination, like a nickel or dime. This results in a Connecticut quarter that's lighter, smaller, or has the wrong metal composition, instantly making it a collector's dream. But even if your quarter doesn't have an error, it could still be worth a small fortune if it's in top condition. Coins graded MS67, MS68, or higher, meaning mint state, with a nearly perfect surface and strike, are exceedingly rare. These coins look brand new, with no wear, no scratches, and perfect luster. The U.S. Mint doesn't produce flawless coins often, so when they do, and they're preserved in pristine condition for over 20 years, collectors are willing to pay big money for them. Combine a rare error with top-level preservation, and now you're talking about the kind of coin that can break records at auction. And that brings us to the big reveal that if you have a 1999 Connecticut quarter with a significant mint error, like a double die, a clipped planchet, or a wrong planchet strike, and it's in excellent, uncirculated condition, that small quarter could be worth an unbelievable $70,000. Yes, that's right, $70,000 for a single $quarter coin. A 25-cent piece that most people would spend without thinking twice could actually be worth more than some people's entire savings. So what does this mean for you? It means it's time to dig out your old change jars, pull out those forgotten coin folders, and start inspecting those Connecticut quarters with a magnifying glass. Who knows? That small piece of silver-toned metal in your collection could be your ticket to a massive payday. Top 2. We're going back to the very beginning of a historic chapter in American coinage. We're diving deep into the story behind one of the very first coins released in the legendary 50 State Quarters program, the 1999 Delaware State Quarter. Now, this isn't just another piece of spare change. It's a coin that launched an entire generation of collectors. A coin that, under the right conditions, could be worth far more than anyone would expect. So stay with us until the end, because we'll be revealing just how much one rare Delaware quarter could be worth, and trust me, it's a number that will leave you stunned. Let's begin with a bit of history. In 1999, the United States Mint kicked off one of its most ambitious and beloved programs ever, the 50 State Quarters program. For the first time in U.S. coinage history, each state was honored with its own unique quarter design. The very first one to be released, setting the stage for all the others, was Delaware, the first state to join the Union. Delaware's design is bold, historic, and incredibly meaningful. On the reverse of the coin, you'll find an image of Caesar Rodney, a Revolutionary War hero who rode through the night to cast Delaware's deciding vote for American independence in 1776. His dramatic horseback ride is forever captured on this coin, symbolizing courage, sacrifice, and leadership. Beneath the rider, you'll see the inscriptions Caesar Rodney, Delaware, and the First State. It's a tribute not just to a man, but to the spirit of the people of Delaware who led the way for the creation of the United States of America. It's more than a quarter, it's a symbol of the birth of a nation. Now let's talk about why this coin, this 1999 Delaware quarter, is sending waves through the collector community, even decades after it was first minted. You see, although over 774 million Delaware quarters were produced in 1999, not all of them are equal. Most were used in daily circulation, worn down, and eventually forgotten. But a tiny handful contain rare errors, striking anomalies, or have been preserved in extraordinary condition, and that's where the real value lies. Let's start with one of the most sought-after elements in numismatics, minting errors. These are unintentional flaws that occur during the coin production process, but to collectors, they make the coin unique and highly desirable. Some of the most valuable 1999 Delaware quarters have been discovered with double die errors, especially on the obverse side. This means some design elements, like the date, lettering, or even parts of the Caesar Rodney figure, appear slightly doubled due to a misalignment in the striking process. These coins are rare and command high prices in auctions. Others have been found with off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned and part of the image is missing or shifted dramatically. Even more exciting are clipped planchets, coins that are missing a small crescent-shaped section due to a cutting error, or broad strikes, where the coin appears stretched or flattened beyond normal shape. Each of these errors is rare, and each one can turn an ordinary quarter into an extraordinary collectible. But there's something else that boosts the value of the Delaware quarter even further. Condition. Collectors prize coins that are graded mint state, particularly those that reach MS 67 or higher. These are coins that were never used, never touched, and preserved perfectly from the moment they left the mint. They have no scratches, no wear, and show full luster and sharp details. Imagine holding a 1999 quarter that looks as if it was struck yesterday, flawless, gleaming, and untouched. Those coins are the crown jewels of modern collections, and when you combine a rare minting error with a top-grade condition, the value doesn't just increase, it skyrockets. Another exciting detail that collectors love about the Delaware quarter is its status as the very first of the State Quarter series. This alone adds a layer of historical importance. It started a collecting movement that brought millions of people, young and old, into the world of coins. People still remember the excitement of looking for these quarters in their change and starting their first coin albums. Because of this iconic status, serious collectors are always on the hunt for Delaware quarters to complete their sets, especially those that are rare or in pristine condition. And when one of these special coins hits the auction block, bidding can go wild. Now, let's get to the part you've all been waiting for. What if you've been lucky enough to stumble across a 1999 Delaware State quarter with a rare error, or perhaps one that's been carefully stored, untouched, and still gleaming after all these years? Here's the shocking truth. In the right condition, and with a significant minting anomaly, your 1999 Delaware quarter could be worth as much as $75,000. That's right. $75,000. For a single, 25-cent piece that most people wouldn't look at twice. A coin you might have spent on gum or tossed in a jar could turn out to be one of the most valuable pieces in your entire collection. So, if you've got old change lying around, now's the time to dig through it. Pull out that old coin folder from the attic. Examine those 1999 Delaware quarters closely. Look for doubling, off-center images, clipping, or anything unusual. And if your coin appears flawless, smooth surfaces, no scratches, no discoloration, get it graded professionally. You might just be holding a true American treasure. Top 3. We're talking about a coin that might look ordinary at first glance but could turn out to be a true hidden gem, the 2000 Maryland State Quarter Dollar. If you love history, rare finds, and the thrill of discovering hidden value in your pocket change, then you're in the right place. This is not just another state quarter. It's part of a legendary coin series that reignited America's interest in numismatics, the 50 State Quarters program, a monumental release from the United States Mint that started in 1999 and continued for a decade. Each quarter honored a U.S. state with a unique design, and in the year 2000, one of those states was Maryland, the seventh state to ratify the U.S. Constitution. At first glance, the 2000 Maryland quarter might seem simple. But the details, the symbolism, and the rare variations hidden among millions of coins make it one of the most exciting finds in circulation. And yes, some versions of this coin are worth far more than you might imagine. So listen closely and enjoy the journey, because this story could lead to an incredible discovery hiding right in your coin jar. Let's start with the design. The reverse side of the Maryland quarter features the Maryland State House dome, a symbol of strength, freedom, and American history. This structure, located in Annapolis, is the oldest state capitol still in continuous legislative use and was once even the temporary U.S. capitol. Around the dome, you'll see 2 branches of white oak leaves, representing Maryland's official state tree and symbolizing strength and endurance. The inscriptions, "The Old Line State" and 2000, complete the design, proudly honoring Maryland's nickname and the year of issue. Now, let's talk about the real treasure, the hidden value that lies beneath this historical design. Over 1.2 billion Maryland quarters were minted across the Philadelphia and Denver mints. That's a massive number, and most of these coins went straight into circulation. People used them, spent them, dropped them, and forgot about them. But what collectors are truly after are the rare variations, the unexpected minting errors, and the flawless examples that have survived 2 decades without a single blemish. You see, not all coins that come out of the mint are perfect. In fact, some of the most valuable coins are the ones that have errors, mistakes that occurred during the minting process. These aren't flaws, they're collector gold. Let's start with double die errors. Some 2000 Maryland quarters have subtle but significant doubling on the date, the lettering, or even on parts of the oak leaves. If you look closely and see slightly overlapping or blurred edges on the text or design, you might have a double die. And collectors pay big money for that. Then there are off-center strikes, where the image and lettering are misaligned, often creating a crescent of blank space on one edge of the coin. The more off-center the strike, the more valuable the coin becomes, especially if the design is still mostly visible. Another fascinating type of error is the clipped planchet, a coin that was improperly cut from the metal sheet, leaving a bite-like missing piece. These clipped quarters are rare and attract serious attention in auctions, but the holy grail of mint errors might just be the wrong planchet error. This occurs when a Maryland quarter is accidentally struck on a planchet meant for a completely different denomination, like a dime or a foreign coin. These mistakes are incredibly rare and can send a coin's value soaring. Now, let's talk about condition. Even without an error, a Maryland state quarter can be worth a significant amount if it's in mint state condition, especially MS 67 or higher. That means the coin has never been circulated, has no visible wear, and maintains its full mint luster. Coins like these are usually found in sealed coin rolls, special collector sets, or in private collections where they've been protected from the elements. Collectors seek out high-grade state quarters to complete registry sets, competitions where collectors aim to build the best possible collections of a specific coin series. And a Maryland quarter in a top grade, especially with a known mint error, can fetch eye-watering prices at auction. Let's not forget one more reason why this coin is so collectible. It's from the first full year of the state quarters rollout. In 2000, excitement around the program was at an all-time high. Millions of people began collecting quarters for the very first time. This early stage of the program holds a special place in coin collecting history, and coins from this year, especially those in exceptional condition or with rare features, are always in demand. So, what happens when you combine a historically significant design, a rare mint error, and a coin in top-tier uncirculated condition? You get a quarter that doesn't just have collector appeal, you get a coin that could make headlines. And now, here's the moment we've all been waiting for. If you happen to have a 2000 Maryland state quarter with a significant minting error, or if it's been preserved in near-perfect uncirculated condition, you could be holding something truly extraordinary, because the most valuable examples of this coin have been known to sell for as much as $82,000. Yes, you heard that right. $82,000 for a single quarter. A coin that many people wouldn't look at twice could be worth more than most cars, or even more than a college tuition bill. So here's what you need to do. Check your coin jars. Pull out those old quarter rolls. Look carefully at any 2000 Maryland quarters you find. Use a magnifying glass. Inspect the details. Look for doubling. Look for misalignment. Look for missing pieces. And most importantly, look for that untouched, shiny, flawless surface that screams mint state, because what looks like just 25 cents might actually be one of the rarest and most valuable coins in your entire collection. Top 4 We're saddling up and heading to the heart of the Bluegrass State to take a closer look at one of the most elegant and underappreciated coins in the entire 50-state quarter series, the 2001 United States of America Kentucky State Quarter. It's got charm, history, a story of independence, and, believe it or not, a version of this coin has sold for a jaw-dropping amount of money. Yes, we'll be revealing that shocking value at the end of this video, so make sure you stick with us all the way through. Let's begin with the basics. In 2001, the U.S. Mint released 5 new state quarters, and Kentucky was the last one of the year, marking the 15th coin in the 50-state quarters program. But Kentucky's coin stands out, not just because of its beautiful design, but because of the deep history it represents, and the surprises some versions of it hold. Take a good look at the reverse side of the coin. It's a visual tribute to the state's most iconic symbol, horse racing. Front and center, you'll find a thoroughbred horse standing proudly behind a traditional wooden fence, with the grand and stately Federal Hill Mansion in the background, better known as My Old Kentucky Home, the inspiration for the state song. Every detail in the design speaks to Kentucky's culture and identity. The horse represents strength, freedom, and the state's internationally known racing heritage, especially the legendary Kentucky Derby. The mansion stands for elegance, history, and a deep connection to the antebellum South. Below it all is the banner reading, My Old Kentucky Home, tying everything together with pride and poetic symbolism. Now, it's time to look beyond the surface and talk about what makes this coin special, and in some cases, extremely valuable. Over 723 million Kentucky quarters were minted across both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. That's a huge number, so naturally, you'd assume that none of these coins could be worth anything more than 25 cents, right? Well, think again. Because hidden among those hundreds of millions are a small handful of rare, flawed, and perfect examples that collectors go wild for. Let's talk about minting errors, one of the most exciting parts of modern coin collecting. First up, double die errors. Some 2001 Kentucky quarters have been found with doubled letters, especially on the inscriptions like United States of America or E Pluribus Unum. If you look closely and see a slight doubling or shadow effect on the text, you could be looking at a valuable error coin. Then there are the off-center strikes. These are coins that were struck outside the normal alignment, causing part of the image or words to be missing or shifted. These errors are especially prized when a large portion of the design remains visible and well-centered, and don't forget clipped planchets, where the coin looks like it's had a bite taken out of it. These rare mistakes happen when the blank metal disc isn't fully cut before being struck. If you see a curved slice missing from the edge, that coin could be worth far more than face value, but perhaps the most spectacular and valuable error of all is the wrong planchet strike. Imagine a Kentucky quarter accidentally struck on a dime blank, or even a foreign coin blank. These incredibly rare coins are highly sought after by advanced collectors and often bring enormous prices at auction. Still, even without any error, the 2001 Kentucky quarter can be valuable in another way. Condition. If you have a Kentucky quarter that's been preserved in mint state condition, especially in MS 67, MS 68, or higher, then you might be holding something very special. These are coins that were never circulated, never touched, and have zero scratches, wear, or discoloration. They still shine the way they did on the day they left the U.S. Mint. Finding a Kentucky quarter in this pristine state is not easy. Most went into circulation and suffered the wear and tear of everyday use. But if you happen to have one tucked away in a collector's folder, or perhaps from a mint roll or set, and it's flawless, that alone could raise its value to incredible heights. Now, here's something serious collectors will appreciate. The 2001 Kentucky quarter is often overlooked, which means fewer people are hunting them right now compared to other more hyped coins. That's actually great news for you. Because when a coin is underestimated, it can quietly rise in value as collectors begin to realize how scarce true high-quality examples are. It's what we call a sleeper coin, quiet now, but highly valuable later, and with only a few certified high-grade and error-marked Kentucky quarters in existence, demand is steadily growing. Collectors want them. Registries need them. And that means rising prices on the open market. So now for the part you've been waiting for. If you've been sitting on a Kentucky state quarter from 2001, especially one with a major minting error, or in flawless uncirculated condition, you might just be in possession of something extraordinary, because rare examples of the 2001 Kentucky state quarter have been valued at an unbelievable $88,000. Yes, you heard that right. $88,000 for a single 25-cent coin. It's the kind of discovery that changes everything. Something you might have dismissed as common turns out to be one of the rarest finds in your entire collection. So now's the time. Pull out your collection. Search through those old quarter rolls. Examine your 2001 Kentucky quarters with fresh eyes. Look for those telltale signs of errors, doubling, clipping, or off-center strikes. And don't forget to assess the condition, because if your coin looks untouched by time, you might be holding a high-grade treasure. Top 5. We're headed down to the vibrant and soulful state of Louisiana to explore one of the most culturally rich, visually stunning, and surprisingly valuable quarters ever minted by the United States, the 2002 Louisiana State Quarter. Now, before you assume this is just another coin in your pocket, let me stop you right there. Because behind the shine of this 25-cent piece lies a story of heritage, hidden rarities, and minting mysteries. And if you stick with me until the end, I'll reveal how a single Louisiana quarter could be worth a shocking $95,000. Yes, you heard that right. Let's begin by diving into the beautiful design and the cultural tribute that makes this coin so special. Released in 2002 as part of the U.S. Mint's celebrated 50 State Quarters program, the Louisiana Quarter pays tribute to one of the most historically and musically rich regions in all of America. At first glance, you'll notice a few striking features. The reverse side of the coin is packed with symbolism. You'll see the iconic Louisiana Purchase territory, a massive piece of land the United States bought from France in 1803, doubling the nation's size and transforming its future. It's a proud moment in American history, and this coin honors it by showing the historic map outline of that monumental land deal, but it doesn't stop there. Overlapping the map is a trumpet with musical notes, a tribute to Louisiana's undeniable influence on jazz, blues, and American music. After all, New Orleans is the birthplace of jazz, and without Louisiana, the soundtrack of America would sound very different. The phrase, Louisiana Purchase, is boldly inscribed along with the state's name and the year of statehood, 1812. Below, you'll find the issue year, 2002, making this coin both a historical tribute and a collector's target. Now, here's where things get really exciting. Because while this coin is certainly a beauty, its true value lies in the rare and unexpected variations that only a tiny number of people have ever laid eyes on. Over 764 million Louisiana quarters were produced between the Philadelphia and Denver mints, which makes it seem common. But as experienced collectors know, even in massive mintages, rare gems can be hiding, and that's exactly the case with this coin. Let's talk about minting errors, the crown jewels of modern coin collecting. These are the tiny mistakes made during production that can make a coin one of a kind, and highly valuable. Point one of the most talked about Louisiana quarter errors involves double die strikes. This occurs when the coin is struck twice slightly out of alignment, causing details, like the letters or parts of the trumpet, to appear doubled or shadowed. These visual glitches are incredibly rare and extremely desirable to serious collectors. Another rare error is the off-center strike, where the design of the coin is shifted, leaving parts of the image or text off the edge. Depending on how extreme the misalignment is, the coin's value can rise dramatically. Then there are the mysterious and exciting clipped planchets. These are coins that look like they've had a small slice taken out of them due to a miscut during minting. Even though they look flawed to the average person, collectors go crazy for this kind of error, and it doesn't stop there. Some extremely rare Louisiana quarters have been discovered struck on the wrong planchet, a blank meant for a different denomination or even a foreign coin. These are ultra rare and can be worth thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, on their own, but even without an error, the Louisiana quarter can carry serious value when found in mint state condition, meaning it has never been circulated, touched, or tarnished. These are the coins that remain in MS-67, MS-68, or higher, and they're like time capsules, gleaming just as they did the moment they left the mint. Most quarters have gone through years of handling, spending, dropping, and scratching. But if your Louisiana quarter has been carefully preserved, perhaps from a sealed mint roll or a collector's set, and it shows no wear, flawless luster, and full details, then its value could be far above what you'd ever expect. Add to that the fact that Louisiana is one of the most artistically and musically recognized states, and this coin has gained cultural popularity among not only coin collectors but also historians, jazz lovers, and regional collectors alike. That kind of cross-appeal only increases demand, and as demand rises, so does the price. Now here's something even more fascinating. Because many people assume that the rarest state quarters come from the earliest years of the program, like 1999 or 2000. But what they don't realize is that by 2002, the mint was producing more complex designs, and more chances for unique errors started to appear. That means hidden rarities from that time are still being discovered, and Louisiana is one of the most watched coins from that year. So, now comes the moment you've been waiting for. Let's imagine you find a Louisiana quarter from 2002 with a significant minting error, like a dramatic off-center strike, a wrong planchet, or a clear double die. Or maybe your coin has no errors at all, but it's been sealed away since the day it was minted, with not a single flaw in its surface. If that's the case, you might want to sit down, because the most valuable examples of the 2002 Louisiana State Quarter have been sold for as much as $95,000. Yes, $95,000. For a quarter. For a piece of metal that weighs just over 5 grams and once cost 25 cents to use at a soda machine. That's the magic of coin collecting, it turns the ordinary into the extraordinary. So here's your call to action. Don't ignore the coins in your drawers. Look at your pocket change. Pull out your old coin books. If you find a Louisiana quarter, take a closer look. Check the lettering, check the design, and most importantly, check the condition. You might just be holding something worth a small fortune. If this video opened your eyes to the hidden world of rare coins, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Here on Coins Hunter USA, we're on a mission to uncover America's forgotten treasures, and you're part of that journey. Thank you for watching, and as always, happy collecting and happy hunting.